April 23rd is World Book Night, and I want to recommend a wonderful book that I started reading in March from the New Rochelle Public Library. It's The Cure for Women by Lydia Reeder, and it is about Mary Putnam Jacobi and the challenges to Victorian medicine. You may say, I started this book in March and I'm still reading it. But I usually read several books at one time, at least 5, and I have a job search and dance ballet, and so this is why I usually don't finish one book immediately. I really enjoyed this book because I'm a medical doctor and it is about the beginning of medicine for women in the US and the difficulties they had and their education. And I think this wonderful book will be of interest not only for physicians, for all women. What made an impression to me, it starts first with Elizabeth Blackwell and her sister Emily, and then about Mary Putnam and how she joins them and trains in medicine and her extensive education and pharmacy and medical career. So I don't want to give away what the book is about, but to say my opinion that from what I read, it was very hard to be a woman physician because women were expected to stay home and men physicians didn't think that with their hormones they were fit to be physicians. Maybe to a certain extent it is true that women are usually more fragile. But if they want to be physicians, they have to be very strong and almost to be strong like men. And I was amazed by the difficulties that Elizabeth Blackwell had in establishing her hospital, but she did amazing things. And I was amazed how Mary Putnam, since a little girl, showed interest in medicine and in science and in dissections, and she was very fearless. And thinking of me with 2 parents physicians, I was afraid of the sight of blood. And I didn't like dissections, I liked dancing. So this made me think that you have to have a special character in order to be a physician. And something that I'm always conflicted about is, should doctors become insensitive, in other words, not be moved by the sight of blood or of pain or infection, or should they be just as sensitive but try to help? I think it's the latter. But I think when women used to work with a lot of patients, they also became a bit insensitive. And Mary Putnam's dad was a publisher, George Putnam, who promoted women's books like that of Elizabeth Blackwell, but he himself thought that Mary's place in medicine would be difficult and that a woman should be home. And indeed, it is difficult, but if a woman has a passion for this, she can be just as good a physician as a man. And it was amazing how some women, before there were women physicians, were very accomplished midwives and physicians and holistic healers just by reading and experience. So not always education is key if you educate yourself. And so I would recommend this book. I really love reading it, and I was amazed by the bravery of these women that set the foundation for medicine in the U.S. Elizabeth Blackwell and her sister Emily, who studied in Europe, and Mary Putnam. Thank you. Now think of what book you would like to read for World Book Night. I would recommend this one.